Hi, I'm Saleema, and in this video, I'm going to show you 3 super cool yet simple text animations that can make your text look great for any motion graphics project. For the first text animation, let's start with something really simple, the position animation, and we are going to enhance it while animating some other properties along with it. So let's start and open up the After Effects. Click on this button and create a new composition. Keep these settings and rename your composition as text 1. You can now create a new solid layer for the background. Right click here and select solid from here. You can adjust the colors by selecting the layer and pressing enter. We can rename it as background. Now create a new text layer and type in some text over here and align it to the center. Place the anchor point in the middle. We can hold Ctrl and double click on the pan behind tool to bring it to the center. Move 1 second forward on the timeline. Let's hold Alt and left square bracket to crop the layer. Press P to open the position property of this layer. Now move some frames forward and place a keyframe over here by clicking the stopwatch next to the position property. Move backwards and drag this text a little down by pressing the down arrow key. Let's select both the keys and press F9 to easy ease. Now go into the graph editor and make sure the speed graph is selected. Now adjust this curve. Move the handles all the way back to the left. This will make the animation start fast and ease into its resting position. We can press N to trim our work area. This is how our position animation looks like. Now let's add some opacity as well. Hold Shift and press T to open the opacity property along with the position. Now place the keyframe here. Keep it at 100 and move backwards and bring it to the 0. Now select both the keyframes and press F9 to easy ease. Go into the graph editor and make the same curve as we have done for the position. So this is how our final animation looks like. This looks simple but works perfectly for most of the motion graphic projects. We can also add in a subtle color animation to enhance it even more. Go to the Effects and Presets window. Type in Fill. Double-click on this effect to apply it on the selected layer. Keyframe this red color at the start of our layer. Move few frames forward and change the color to white. Press U to open all the keyframes. Select these fill keyframes and press F9 to easy ease. Now play and see how our animation is looking like. Our first text animation is all ready and looks great. If you are a beginner and want to know all the basics of animating in After Effects, I have linked the video in the description down below where I have covered all the details you need to know for animating in After Effects. For our next text animation, let's create a new composition and name it as text 2. And for this animation, we are going to create our text coming out of a line. In a similar way, add a solid for the background. Create a new text layer and type in something. Align it to the center of the screen. Press Ctrl and double click on the pan behind tool to place the anchor point in the center of the text. first animate the position as we have done in case of the previous text animation. We can make it move further upwards by pressing the upwards arrow key. Now let's create a line. Select the pen tool, turn the fill color off, and make sure to select the solid color for this stroke. Change the stroke color from here and set the size of the stroke at 2. Now click and hold shift to create a straight line and then click here. Align it horizontally to the center. Press enter and rename this layer as line. Now open its properties by clicking on this arrow over here. Add in trim paths. Open the trim paths properties and we can control how much line should be visible through its start and end property. With start at 0, let's keyframe the end at 100. Move backwards and bring the end at 0%. This is how our line is animating so far. Now if we want our line to start drawing from the middle, we can keyframe our start value at 0 and moving backwards, we can keep both start and ending at 50%. Now the line starts drawing from the middle towards both sides. Bring this line animation a little earlier than the text animation by dragging the keyframes towards left. Now press F9 to easy ease these keyframes. Inside the graph editor, adjust the speed graph and make this curve look something like this. Move out of the graph editor. Now let's make the text look like it's coming out of a line. Select the rectangle shape tool and make sure it has a fill. Turn off the stroke. Now draw a shape or text connecting it to the line. Enter and rename this layer as mask. Drag this layer downward just above our text layer. And from here, set the track matte to mask. So now our text is just visible inside this mask. To make it look like it's coming out of the line, let's go to the start of our text animation and move the text further downwards by pressing the downwards arrow key. You can also adjust its final position as per your liking, as I want it to bring little downwards. Now let's see how our animation is looking like. Now this looks good to me. In a similar way, you can create another text coming out of the line in downwards direction. So our second text animation is all ready and looks great. Now let's create the third animation. For the third and final text animation, let's explore some additional animation properties available on the text layer. Create a new composition and rename it as text 3. Create a solid for the background. Create a new text layer and type in something. Open up the text properties by clicking on this icon. Click on this icon next to Animate, and these are all the properties that you can play with. I'm adding position and I'm also adding opacity. Move down the position and keep the opacity at 0. Move 1 second forward and from the range selector keyframe the offset at 100. Now move to the start and keyframe it at -100. Go to the advanced properties by clicking this arrow here. Change the shape to ramp up. Set the ease height to something like 30% and ease low at 100%. Here is how our animation look like. It's looking super cool. We can also add in some scale animation. Select the layer and press S to open the scale property. Keyframe the scale here at 100%. Move some frames forward and bring it to 90%. Select both the keyframes and press F9 for easy ease. Now go to the graph editor and selecting the speed graph, make your curve something look like this one. Come out of the graph editor and see how our animation is looking. We can adjust the scaling by dragging the keyframes on our timeline as per our liking. So this is how our final animation look with scaling out.
If you find the content useful and looking forward to learning animation, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get notifications of my future videos.